So we were just talking about it's Awaken Wednesday. We're just talking about this beautiful, calming sweatshirt. It was chilly today here, and so I put that on and talking about Shay, who is a divine architect or mystical architect. What would you
That
say?
goes sacred
Sacred
architect,
architect. I think
sacred architecture.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, I think each one of us gets to decide who we are. You know, a lot of people have a lot of labels for us, some good, some maybe not so good, and maybe we get to claim who we are. And I love hearing that you're a sacred architect, or that's what you were saying, right? Or
that is
architecture.
exactly what I'm saying. And it comes from a lifetime of studying not just the sacred arts, but just the nature of the mind and how the world works, and what choices do we make that are going to create the structure and support that helps us to awaken.
Exactly. Well,
Mhm.
each one of us has a very special role in this awakening game. And I would like to invite you to consider just for a moment if you could be called anything or take on any role in this world of unfolding and expanding consciousness, what would you call yourself? Now, being in Sedona, a lot of people put mystic on their calling cards or healer on their calling cards. But what would you put on yours in this time, in this place? I'm thinking about this, and I think we can claim something new. And Shay, I had no idea you chose that. So that was just divine timing. And I'm going to talk more about your shirt in a moment, but I want to ask you to think about who you are and what your role is in this world right now. I invite you to put it in the chat if you like. I know we have some new people here, so I want to welcome you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you decided to join us. How it goes is we usually talk for a few minutes. Sometimes I talk too much, and then we go into meditation, and then we have a discussion afterwards. And sometimes we go into breakout rooms, community rooms to talk further. All of it is obviously optional, and the discussions are not always recorded. So if you're here, you're getting those. So let's see what we have in the chat. And I've come up with, I definitely own the word alchemist. I definitely own that word. I feel it's really true to who I am, but I have to come up with sort of an adjective for that. So here we go. Look what we have here. Oh my goodness. So great. We have, let's see, sacred architect, human being. Thank you, Mel. Mindful motivator, Joe. Nice. Curious explorer, Katie. Yeah. Open opportunist. Nice, Shannon. Lovely Rita. That's right, Rita. Guide, Sharon. Thank you. Temple of Light, Paula. Oh my goodness. A loving connector, thespian, yogini, meditator, Alaire. Beautiful. Grounding, pre-storm calm. Oh, this is maybe is that what you're gonna have on your business card? The pre-storm calm. That's perfect. A wise mentor, Jay. Nice. Cooking with sense. This is Anne, where my culinary angels were with me. So, cooking angel, love it. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I was the cook in the monastery where I lived for a couple of years. And they told me this, I had no idea. But the cook is actually the second most important person in a monastic setting. The first, of course, being the teacher, but the nourisher is the cook. So that was a very high position. So I love hearing that. And healer with words, Annette. Beautiful. Authentic explorer and glow bug of joy, Debbie. Nice. I think we can all just own our new roles, whatever they might be, whatever they might be. So I don't know. What else? Anything else? Anyone else want to share what they're thinking they could call themselves just for fun, like it's almost Halloween, you know? What would you dress up as a being of light? A wise mentor, a glow bug? What are these costumes? What are these costumes? Yeah, this is fun. Okay, well, if I'd invite you to keep thinking about this. I have a sense that we each one of us has a very important role to play in the expanding, ever-changing world that we're currently living in. And our role is to be really present, to be, to walk with presence, to live with presence, to speak with presence, to be in community with presence, to be mindful of our words, to be a mindful listener. And I was talking to someone who I haven't talked to in 5 years, and she's one of the very first people, went through my very first teacher training, number one, and we're on number 33 now. And her life has changed tremendously. But she says, I realized all I need to do is show up in presence everywhere I go. I don't need to do anything. I simply need to be peace, love, joy, an open heart, a glow bug, light shining, love flowing, and radiating what I want to see in the world. As some of you know right now, there's a meditation that's offline, analog. Everybody gets together at 11 a.m., 7 p.m. in UK, around the world to imagine a world where peace is flowing, overflowing, and love abounds. So I'd like to take a mindful moment before I talk a little bit about our meditation and do that. But a mindful moment, just simply close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that right now. And we're going to use our imagination for good, using our imagination for good. And imagine a world that you walk in, or ride in, or speak in, or talk in, or exist in that is free from suffering. Imagine a world at its very best, whatever that looks like to you, whatever it feels like to you, whatever it sounds like to you, whatever it smells like to you. So we'll do this for a couple of minutes or so, just imagining a beautiful world. It already is, but let's just encourage it. Imagine walking in this wonderful world, living in this wonderful world. Where all beings everywhere feel safe and loved. They flourish and thrive. I see a flowering of community and support and sharing and connecting. And letting go of the thinking and imagining, simply sitting here and feeling what it might feel like to exist in this world. Maybe taking a deep breath, maybe rubbing your hands together, getting really grounded into this space that you're in, feeling your feet on the floor, and opening your eyes, arriving here in this wonderful world together. I believe we have to use our imagination for the good stuff. There are plenty of people who are doomsdayers for sure. I just got an email from a fellow I worked with many years ago, Gary Zukav. Some of you know him from The Seat of the Soul or the Dancing Woolly Masters. And he says, someone asked him a question, what are we doing here if the world's going to end anyway? I mean, each one of our world's probably going to end in this way of being a human being alive on this planet. But he said, just keep going, just keep flourishing. Just your potential is vast and, don't quit now. It's Wednesday, don't quit now. So he also taught about spiritual partnership, a partnership between equals for the purpose of spiritual growth. And this is a challenge, but I'd love for you to reflect on your partnerships, whether it be with your coworkers, your family, your friends, your partner, your pets, and see, when you reflect on it, do these relationships help you to grow spiritually? Do these relationships feel nourishing on most levels? It'd be great to say on every level, but do they feel like, do you feel seen and heard in these relationships? Being in spiritual partnership, partnership between equals for the purpose of spiritual growth, can be with anyone. And maybe as you're walking through your world, you treat everyone as if they are a messenger, a partner, even if you don't know their names, for the purpose of your spiritual growth. I was talking to a friend of mine, it's definitely an advisor of mine, and I was telling him how when I walk into a place where I don't know anyone, I make it a point to be present, look people in the eye, smile, connect with this living being in front of me who has this big, vast life. And sometimes it looks like no one's home, like the lights are on, but no one's home. And I'm sure you've had this experience where someone just drives like into you or, doesn't see you and bumps into you. And it can be very aggravating, especially since I want to be spiritual. I want everybody to be this way. And this is where my work comes in. This is where these people are my spiritual partners. And I was talking to him, and he says, Sarah, turn that bitterness, because I do feel angry and sad when it happens, turn that bitterness into a prayer. Turn that bitterness into a prayer. Now, you don't have to believe in God, but this is the prayer he suggested for me. Um, God, don't let this bitterness or this disappointment or this anger I feel to get in the way of remembering you. So my prayer is really to remember the divine in every moment in whatever shape and form it takes, whether it's this plant or my cat or my husband, but to remember this divinity in every moment. And so these spiritual partners are wandering around, bumping into me and not looking at me and not smiling back. And it's fine because it's just a reminder for me to say, don't let this get in the way of remembering you. So I wanted to share that. These are my aha moments this week. So I know you've got a few, and we're going to have a chance to share those. But first, I wanted to talk about something called a sutra, Sutra, or in the Buddhist tradition, Tibetan Buddhist, it's sutta, I think it is, Sutta. And a sutra, as some of you might have heard before, has been used in what's called the Yoga Sutras, this whole 20 different aphorisms that help to explain what yoga is, not just the asanas, but there are 200 aphorisms, two of which are asanas and movement like the yoga we know today. But the rest are about your behavior and remembering your divinity and how you behave when no one's looking. And so sutras, the word itself, comes from the word suture or stitch, or to, yeah, it actually means to stitch, to stitch, to stitch. Now, what are you stitching? What are these sutras stitching? Sutras stitch your awareness to the source of your awareness. Now, this may sound, or your attention to the source of your attention. This may sound esoteric and weird, but what it means is when you use a word or a phrase like I am peace or an affirmation in some cases, or even just a prayer that you know is so much more expansive than the words you're saying, these are sutras. They're short phrases that help you to remember something. So there's the Yoga Sutras, there's a lot of sutras in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition and the Zen Buddhist tradition. There are probably many, many sutras in every tradition. And so I know there's a thing called a sutra practice. And a sutra practice is something that teachers are going to, in training, are going to learn. And but we're all going to learn it today and use it today. And what is it exactly? Well, in meditation, we create, or a silent field is created in meditation through the practice, and we'll be doing this in a moment. And it's like a still pond. Sometimes you have thoughts, and sure there are ripples here and there, and yeah, a bug skips along the surface. But and basically, after a little while in meditation, there's a stillness that exists in the mind and the body. And what happens then is it's a perfect time to toss a pebble in the pond. And when you toss the pebble in the pond, and if you've ever spent any time doing this, watching the ripple effect move from the center way, way out at different rates, different intensity, different shapes, but it keeps moving out like this. In meditation, when we toss that pebble in the pond, it's called a sutra. It stitches our attention with a particular set of words to a particular quality. And in Deepak Chopra's work, he offers it. In Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's work, he offers it. In these sutras, you can find them in the Yoga Sutras. They're actually advanced techniques. This is an advanced technique practice. But don't worry, it starts with mindfulness. It starts with breath awareness or body awareness or mantra practice. And then about 10 minutes into it, we are still, and then each one of us, tosses one of these sutras. Now, these sutras today I'm going to use are coming from the Soul Awakening Prayer by a man named James O'Day. He's a beautiful teacher. He's an American teacher. I believe he's in the, oh gosh, well, I can't tell you right now because I can't remember. Anyway, but he's a beautiful man who's been teaching this prayer when he was imagining a beautiful world, just like we did. And he worked with a bunch of really, I'd have to say, spiritual people, and they came up with these words. And I'm going to see if I can share them with you here. And I think you can see my screen. And I'll read them if you're listening on the phone. The first is soul awakening, heart opening, light shining, love flowing, wounds dissolving, peace radiating. And then he has us do this practice where we use it. I don't know if you can see that all right. Can you see that? You use this as a practice in the meditation. So we're going to be doing this today, but first we're going to start with some mindfulness meditation. You all know mindfulness. It means paying attention to what you're doing while you're doing it. In this case, we'll be doing a body breath awareness practice. About 10 minutes into it, I'll say, be still, and then we'll do this sutra practice and I'll guide it. There are a couple of ways to do it. So I'll do it the way he suggests, and you'll have the benefit of it. Um, so first, for those brand new people here, welcome. I just want to share there are 5 essentials to every meditation, and whether it's sutra practice, mantra practice, mindfulness practice. The first is it's okay to get interrupted by your mind, and it's okay to have thoughts. Your job is to come back to the practice. That's the mindfulness muscle. That's the meditation muscle where you come back again and again to the practice. I try to come back again and again in my life to peace and presence. But you can come back again and again in meditation. The key is, and this is number two, is to be kind to yourself. Number three, don't try to feel something you don't feel. Don't try to make a mood if you don't have one, a heart-centered feeling or anything. Just do the practice innocently as if it's your first time. The third is not to try too hard. Don't try to do anything and don't expect anything. Just let it be as it is, as if it's the first time. It's that beginner's mind. And lastly, let's stick with the whole practice. Today, we're going to do it for probably about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll come out slowly. The most important part of meditation is to come out slowly. And if for those of you yoga practitioners, it's that awareness posture at the end. It's just becoming aware, that integration that really helps you to navigate the world the way you want to. And lastly, we'll open our eyes and have hear from you and hear your experience. And so I'm going to invite you to get comfortable right now. Find a comfortable posture where you'll be able to sit pretty still, eyes open or closed. If you want to move around during the meditation, feel free. If you need to open your eyes and close them again, you can. Um, and so I'm going to guide us into this. Meanwhile, I'm going to stop sharing for right now, and I'm going to keep track of the time. So, all right. Sitting comfortably with your eyes closed. I invite you to become mindful of what is going on right here, right now. What's going on right here, right now? How are you feeling? Begin to acknowledge how you're feeling emotionally and physically, and even energetically. Deepening your breath just a little bit. It sends a signal to your body that it's okay to relax as you breathe in slowly and fully, and exhale slowly and fully. Oxygenating your body, activating the vagus nerve. 3 long, slow, deep breaths at your own pace, in and out through the nose. Letting each one beckon you to relax even more. As you return now to your natural breathing and your rhythm and your depth, ideally in and out through your nose. And as you sit here, you may begin to notice there are sounds in the environment that attract your attention. So welcome everything you hear. The sounds that are loud and soft, the sounds far and near, the sounds that are steady and those that come and go. Welcoming everything, resisting nothing. And now begin to turn to the body, welcoming sensations. the sensation of sitting here, the sensation of being supported by the chair or cushion that you're on. The sensation of meditating. The sensation of stillness. The sensation of movement. Movement of the breath. Movement of your heart. Perhaps you feel some aliveness in your body. Some warmth, some tingling, some coolness. Perhaps you feel your ribs expand, contract, or your belly move with the breath. Notice the cool air on the inhale of your nostrils and the warmed air as you exhale through your nostrils. Notice the breath traveling down your windpipe into your lungs. Notice the pauses between each breath, between the inhale and the exhale and the inhale. Find something you love and that you can focus on in your breath or your body. The movement, the temperature, the support, the feeling. And let this be your anchor as we meditate together. Every time your mind drifts away, just bring it right back to whatever it is you love. Right here, right now. Letting your attention gently rest on the object. Letting it charm your attention as we sit silently for a few minutes. And now, with your mind still, like a still pond, we're going to share silently each phrase of this prayer. In the first round, we're going to do it for ourselves, for your own soul's awakening. You can imagine this is occurring now, or it can be a prayer for it to occur. I'll share each line and we'll say it to ourselves silently, or if you want, out loud. We'll take a moment before saying the next line. Soul awakening. Heart opening. Light shining. Love flowing. Wounds dissolving. Peace radiating. Each word like a stone being tossed into a still pond. It radiates outward. So this next time as we silently to ourselves repeat it, and I will prompt you for each line, is directed as a prayer for your family or the ones you're with right now, the ones in your space, or all of us here. You can either imagine that this is occurring for them or a prayer for it to occur. Tossing each one, each pebble into a still pond. Soul awakening. Heart opening. Light shining. Love flowing. Light shining. wounds dissolving, peace radiating, this next round will be for your community, all sentient beings in your community and all of your relations. You can imagine this is how it is for them, or it's a prayer for that to be possible for them. Soul awakening, heart opening, light shining, love flowing, wounds dissolving, peace radiating, and this fourth time around, you can imagine the planet awakening, every soul on the planet awakening to their most expanded, loving self. However you envision it, however you want it to be. We'll do it one more time. Soul awakening, heart opening, light shining, love flowing, wounds dissolving, peace radiating. There may be a particular phrase that resonates with you, particular person or feeling you'd like to stay with. So we'll sit in silence for a little bit more, staying on what you're interested in developing. And as our meditation comes to a close, I invite you to keep your eyes closed and rest in the stillness. You can bring to your heart and mind maybe that the way you describe yourself, architect of peace or alchemist or glow bug or divine architect. Just bring to mind what you are, who you want to claim to be. Feel it so deeply you don't need it written anywhere. And before opening your eyes, give yourself a few deep breaths. Invite some movement into your hands and feet, maybe your neck and shoulders. And when you feel like you'd like to open your eyes, there's no rush. I invite you to do that slowly, first with a downward gaze. And then when you feel ready to open your eyes all the way, do that. And you can close the meditation in whatever way you like. I know some people like to rub their hands together, create some warmth, and place them over their eyes. Some people like to put their hands, palms pressed together, thumb on the breastbone. Taking a moment to appreciate yourself and your dedication to your practice and peace on this planet. And then bowing to everyone, if you care to, that's joined you today. And may your prayers be heard around the world. So thank you for being here today. I'd love to know which phrase is your favorite. Which one of these phrases really resonates for you? Feel free to share it in the chat. Oops, there we go. I really felt the wounds dissolving, which normally I don't hang out on that one, but I really felt it this time. Like I felt like I wanted to envision it, the wounds that are seen and unseen. I wonder what was potent for you. It's radiating, wounds dissolving. Ah, that was a fan favorite. Soul awakening. Soul awakening, light shining. Yeah. Wow. I think we just were really sent a big love bomb around the world. You're the vortex of delight in your community, just going right around you and touching people who don't even know what you're up to. So I think that's beautiful. Thank you so much for being part of this. I'm going to stop our recording now and open it up for sharing if anyone feels ready to do that. Let's see. Would anyone care to share how this went for you? Did I do it? No.